very important to me. Oh, I just started. Yes, yes. System sound. Okay, you can hear me, but I'm not really sound. Okay, this is very important to me. Let's move this. So what is this? Okay, this is my MMRI repository on OBINexus. But this stands for mind magnetic resonance imaging. So basically, it's like if I don't want to put anything in my body, needles, magnetic, nothing should be made up of as a policy. That's why it's there. Basically, anything that conducts electricity must be bound by wireless. But if that wireless is magnetic, I don't want it to be magnetic because it's metal, and my skin is I'm not made of metal. I'm just up. I'm just become water, a bit of water. Which I'm saying, guys, is not I'm angry or anything. Just this one saying. This is my mind state. What is an MMRI machine? This is my one version. Basically, it works on radio waves, but my one works on radio waves. But my one is basically it works on something called redshift. Redshift to radio wave macro. But the wavelength is getting smaller, smaller and smaller, more bigger and bigger as it gets to you. So the MRI machine reads the opposite of what is meant to resonance of the frequency of the radio waves. Basically, sends you around your brain in the machine, but it flips it opposite. It conjugates. You are the signal. Basically, what it reads is the what is not getting. So what is not there, or the lack of things that are not there, based on what it's saying. That should be there. That's what I'm saying, because the radio wave is there and the microwave is there, and the image, the basically, if it was written on the mind, not the body. So the mind is a 4D, but the body is a 3 topology. That's the brain. So the brain 3D topology just ensures that the mind is the same, stable, even before the brain reads, because the mind is a very important structure to preserve to get the brain. Especially when someone's under stress and don't want to give you any information, or they're lying, or it's not even the coercion thing. It's more about the principle of if I'm a spirit relationship with someone and that woman lady, she finds me attractive, and then we'll go somewhere else, and then she's now speaking to me in a good way. But when she's not relaying information in a more coherent way, she becomes more signal. She becomes the signal. Oh, basically, when I'm driving away from the car, basically I'm watching a car drive by, and the car gets louder and louder because the sound being compressed into my senses. I understand what the car is saying, because it is observed to go back and forth. But the around me, like in a circle, but from distance, a long distance. But I know the car or the bike is moving at its own pace. But the person on the controller is not even moving to me. Basically, they're moving up and down, but they're not moving around, going around in circles around me. But they're not really hurting me, because the railway compresses when gets to me. But when I leave away, it's not me. It doesn't mean anything. So basically, uniform instruction about the lattice of the geometry space, based on how the wave waves works. So real wave, microwaves like water, one will rise from water, and that's for the mind only. Because the MRI was to work on boil water in your skin, but that one can work on the conjugate of the water system, in your body, H2O. To give you the resonance more power. So that's the policy there enforced by the computer. So red waves are the minimum one you need. The microwaves you need. But for the body, you can use the microwaves up to the red waves up to the infrared. There's no visible light. We cannot use visible light in this anything visible up and above. It caps it out at don't trust you guys. It caps out. It starts to slow down at three quarters, because you can go up to the full microwave thing as a policy, because you can use it, but and then the infrared spectrum. But for system, it must just be good reason to use it. So I want you guys to think about specifically you can use 3/4 above, but has to be override, because 3/4 of the infrared, adding one more can override going to visible light, and that becomes dangerous. But we don't really know. So the current state of the mind is the signal obscured by the noise. The noise is in the pollution environment. The chamber is noise. So basically, I'm talking to you now, right? I don't know Korean or Japanese, but if there's enough no noise, I can start reading your mind. That's the idea here. So basically, I don't really have to read your mind directly, because you're stressed. It stresses us. We don't know. Basically, if I'm quiet in a quiet room, the same thing here. I'm in a quiet room, but the quiet room is for the mind. So your mind and my mind, same one room, and we can hear each other think, because we are just thinking as we're breathing. And the breath, when we feel our pulses, we know what we're thinking. That's the idea between the mind, because the 4200 is there, but we can't see it because everything else, there's a lot of information that we can't see. So that's the idea. It's like signal before noise. The signal is there, and we just have to listen enough to see what you're saying. It's like if I'm listening, just being quiet, require to hear from you. You're not hearing, which is the bad example of that. But this is the one I'll give you if you don't really understand it. So the signal and noise analysis. A body equals signal. B or noise A. The worst kind of signal is the bottle. The jerking about, the worst thing. But we need the mind to relay what the body needs to say, and that's the mind signal A, the primary mind. So basically, the mind topology has to reveal the thing. Under environments of stress, food was you eat, you sleep, you work. That's my MIR machine, mind magnetic resonance imaging. 4D mind hypercube production. So we're trying to produce a hypercube from the mind because the hypercube is just the cube in the mind. Basically, hypertopology. But this is just example much. It's like the signal is known as me, but the topology among that is the conjugate of the system. Basically, it's like warped into the bubble of embryotic system. So the bubble is there, but when I'm zygote, so I'm zygote, I'm an embryo, but my topology of my mind is there when I'm born. But it has to be projected into something that can be structured enough for the system to remain coherent. This is called development. So we have to try to not tamper with the structure already, to just unveil what is already there, which I'll put it, which is embryotic system. What you're seeing, without stressing the whole system. It's neuro card. So you get a neurological card, which is just like the 4D model of it. So this card is gonna change the grid here. It's not process, obviously. I'm a grid 8 plus 16. 6 consciousness. But this is like the station open sense for people who are loving, thinking, projecting after space. What are you really experiencing biologically? Bipolar people experience like multiple proportion of one. They call themselves holes and stuff like that. This is what I'm saying. The corn people, I love corn. Make me some corn. But that's what I'm saying. It's not really a bad thing. You look at this, but it's about topology map, and this is fixed inputs. A pattern magic, like a structure before syntax. So the 4 times 2 is 256 configuration. 256 state can be in at any time. Because this configuration of this system, the signal 19th to the station. Radio wave. The radio wave is here. The microwave is here, and the infrared is here. Now infrared is like the full spectrum, but this one is like without neutral signal. So you cannot have this one without this one. If I take this one, it should stop. Oh, this is wrong. This is okay. But we can have the infrared because it's not meant to without neural signals, without the brain relaying. So that will like basically brain relays some information. If it doesn't need, if it really the thing about the infrared, it's really kind of dangerous. The infrared preserves is there. It's there to preserve everything. Because if you have infrared, that's a red light. You're seeing the lights you cannot see, which is a red light visible to the eye. But the neural signal has to be there before you put any noise in it, because it's dangerous. So this one has to cap out and remove the infrared noise, which can fragment the whole body and mind. What we really got, and the body measurement has to be coherent, because red, green, red. So we feel red. So if we're using red waves, we're measuring the opposite of the conjugate pair, which is red wave against green wave. So again, anything that's wavelength or the opposite system, like the maybe if you do 1 divided by whatever the red frequency of hertz for radio waves, and then flip the symbol, or whatever is calculated, that's what you get, the green waves. So the green waves should give you the system transparency log, and this transparency log is enough to do something with it. So the node 3 is after this is my mind, because the traditional measurement of error is body first. That's wrong. It's the mind that we're measuring. That's what we call an MMR. We're looking for Alzheimer's. We're looking for stuff to do. That's we have to see the but there's no why, there's no cause, because there's nothing to do with the person mind. But that's why I hate anything that autistic people can use to poke themselves. I don't hate them poking me. I want just people to wake up in my dream if they want to go to my dream. I have to be a signal. If you force my body to into a form it doesn't want to be in, my mind will end up trying my mind process for me actually doing that thing when my body is distorted. It's because the duality is that I have a body and a physical presence here, and my mind says I should be in this reality. But if I'm not meant to be in this reality, why am I there? What's making me go there? The mind rejects that kind of input automatically and shuts down. And so basically, MRRs are body first. Wrong. Never, no MRRs are body first. No more in my acquisition. MRRs measure mind first. What am I seeing? Like driving schools, interface license, driving in circles. So basically, you are the interface, the interface to the system. You are what we're trying to figure out. This is myself. What's in my mind? How does it work? What am I thinking from the 4D universe? How do I get projected down into the 3D world? How do my 4D topological consciousness move into 3D? My 2D self, who should have wings and should be able to fly, but I'm not able to fly. Those kind of epistemic question that answer the nature of ontology, who I am, should be the priority of of all priorities of mind first MMR research. Because being crushed by a machine, one is a metal thing. It's not a serious thing. I don't want to go to just discover that kind of death ever in my life. Because basically, infrared rays are dangerous. The green rays, if you get the infrared, then you get the opposite infrared, then you get the conjugate one. Then if you get the micro, you get the opposite kind of we should read them because you get two entangled states based on the waves. Because if you have a laser, you got a laser that's bidirectional, and the laser light is up and down, probably goes up and down. But that up and down is too because it's coherent enough because they work together. So the whole argument supposed to be decoherence, not the lasers dance. Because if lasers are coherent, then we want something that can decohere easily, or doesn't need decoheration at all to take the measurement we need for whatever we're observing in the phenomenon of the inquiry based on whatever the person is doing. But the person should be able to breathe at the maximum breathing because if there's stress in the environment, it doesn't matter whether a person comes from a different country or something. To me, it's about understanding the topology of the mind and ensuring that the photon in the mind we can start healing ourselves. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. This is OBINexus and how to an MRI, the mind. A magnetic resonance that works on the inverse conjugate system, like measuring the nanometers accurately, because it shoots it only observes the because you have to relay the body's thing coherency to show that it's adequate for a reading, which is called the conjugate system. Because if I have a unit model and you're going to use one, the conjugate of the unit, the number unit is units, and that's like you have two. If I have a number 25. And I have 1 over 25. That's conjugate. That's not the conjugate. But I have the m wave m1 over 52. Because I flip the basically I get basically I have 25, which is the wave I'm sending in the whatever system, the radio waves, for example. But 55 is 1 over I'll go 25 nanometers. But I flip that, so that'll be equal to some kind of flip. So 25 over 1. That's what it says. You get 1 over 25. But 25 is not the conjugate. So you have to get some transformation control that gives you 1 over 25. But that transformation has to be the inverse. So if I invert 25, I get 1 over 25. But that 1 over 25 is not good enough for me to measure something. So I have to measure in that sequence for 1 to 5, minimum, maximum. But that so how do I get from 1? So I flip it. So but there's no operation done. So I have to come to balance. So 1 over 25 is 25 over time. So I do 1 over times 5 times 5. Because 5 times is like more, the chunks of 5 is more easier to process, like 1 over 5 times 1 over 5. You get it in a segment of memory that will be processed for the brain to not decohere over the amplification of the oscillation of the wavelength and the frequency, which will work in coherence with the system. The body is a signal, and it's the what kind of signal? There's no signal here. So you see this, basically this is stress, I get the sparse model will grow up. But the sparse model is not coming from calm, but I'm always calm. It's like I know I'm calm, but the environment was worse, and so if I'm stressed is worse, and if I'm calm it's 100%. So this is maximum relation. This is what we are as human beings. The duality of human being and nature, because the topology of the brain is the radio wave, and the wave MCR is pulse. So this is what I'm saying, you guys. Okay guys, thank you for watching.